Okay, so after completing this lecture, we will be able to write a query which will perform two functions. The very first function is limit the rows that retrieved by a query. Limiting the rows, we already discussed that what is limiting the rows. Limiting rows means if suppose you just only want to see the record of those guys whose salary is greater than $2,000. You just don't want to see those guys, their salary is less than $2,000. Clear? So in that case, what will be the query? So that means you need to write a query in such a manner that you are limiting the data, you are restricting the data, you are not displaying all of the data. So after the end of the lecture, we will be able to limit the rows, we will be able to write a query to limit the rows that retrieved by a query. We will be able to writing some specific rows. The only ID of, we will be able to display the record of only whose registration ID is 2 or 10 or 3 or more than that. So sort the rows that are retrieved by the query. Sorting means we will be able to display the record in such a manner. Suppose only the record 2, 5, 10, 6, 8, 9. So that is sorting in form of any ascending or descending order. Clear? So that is the example, employees and retrieve employees in department 90. Now in the first table you see that all the records are displayed. 90, there are 3 employees, they are working in the department ID 90. There are 3 employees in the organization, they are working in department number 90. And there are 3 other employees, they are working in department number 60. But I don't want to see the record of the any other employee ID departments. So I just want to see the employees, they are working in department number 90. So what will be the query? In case, what will be the query? So we will write the query, but before that we will see the journal syntax. Select. Select is the command which we have discussed in detail in the last lecture. Static is a universal operator, it means select all of the data. You can use the distinct reserved word. What does mean by distinct? What is the function of distinct? To select some unique record. Clear? Column names, column alias, expression, operators, anything from the name of the table. And now we will discuss about the new clause, where clause. Last time we have used the select and from. Now this time for restricting and limiting the rows, we will use the where clause, and in front of the where we need to create a condition where the condition is that if the condition is true, then the query will be executed. Where? Clear? So the where clause follows the from clause. It means that you must need to write the where clause after the from clause. So we will write a query. Now I just want to see the record of first of all, let me show you that how many department IDs we have. Select static employee. So we have department number 10, department number 20, department number 30 and 40. Now this time I just want to see the record of department number 30. All those, show me the records of all those employees. They are working in department number 30. I am not interested in displaying the data of department number 10, 20 and 40. I just want to see the records of department number 30. So what will be the query? Select all the records from employee where department ID is equal to 30. So by restricting the data, now I want to see the record of those employees whose salary is greater than $2,000. Suppose there are so many employees working in the department, and they are receiving different salaries. They are receiving different wages. Someone got $500, someone is getting $2,000. So I am only interested in displaying the record of those employees whose salary is more than $2,000. So what will be the query in that case? Select all the data from employee table where salary is greater than 2000. So it is displaying the record of Ford, whose salary is 2300, CEO, his salary is 3000, Mark, Khalid, they are getting the salary more than $2,000 or 2000 Afghani, whatever the data is stored in the table.
So if we include the 2000 also, sir?
Yeah, definitely, because this time you are restricting the data. You are restricting the data. You are not displaying all the records. You are only displaying the records in which the user or the organization is interested. Clear? Now, if suppose I want to display the record of those whose salary is less than, select all the data from employee where salary is less than. Now this time I'm using the less than operator, less than $2,000. So now it is displaying some another records, not the previous records. Now Smith is getting 1450, Alan is getting 1350, Ahmad is getting 1800, Martin. So no one is getting salary more than 2000, because there I create a logic, I create a condition where salary is less than 2000. Don't display all the records, just display those records who getting the salary less than 2000. Clear? Now if suppose I am interested in displaying the record of those employees whose salary is less than or equal to 2000. So for that we need to write where salary is less than and equal to 2000. So now you will see that Ali is also included. Ali is getting 2000, so Ali is also included. Clear? So that is how you will restrict the data. If you want to display the record of only those guys whose salary is fixed $2,000, not less, not more, fixed $2,000. So in that case, you need to write the equal key, equal operator. Select all the records from employee where salary is equal to $2,000. So now only one person in the database is getting the salary of $2,000, and you can see there that only that person is Ali. Ali is getting the salary $2,000 because we create the condition not less than, just equal. Show me only those record whose salary is fixed $2,000, not less, not more, just fixed $2,000. So only one person record in the database who is getting the salary of $2,000. We have seen that we are only restricting the rows, but we are selecting all the data. We are selecting select static. It means that we are selecting all the columns. You can also restrict the columns as well and the rows as well. So in that case, the query will be that select suppose I just want to display the employee ID, comma, job, salary from employee where department ID is equal to 10. So now this time it will only show me some few selected columns and only some selected rows. Now in the previous we have selected all the rows, all the columns, but some only few rows. But in this case, now we have restricted the columns and the rows as well. Don't show me all the columns, just display the employee ID, the job, the salary from employee table, and where the department ID is 10. Only 3 columns will be displayed, and only those rows will be displayed whose department ID is 10. Now this is how you will perform the restriction on both sides, on the rows as well and the columns as well. Clear? Character string and date values are enclosed with single quotation mark. Remember the column alias. Do you remember the column alias? If you are going to generate a report, those columns, they are not permanent in your table, and you are creating a column just for report generation purpose. Salary and multiply by 12. If you want to calculate the annual salary, so what will be the formula in the query? Salary multiply by 12. So that column will not having any name, no column name will be mentioned above, because that is generated for a report purpose. That is all in the previous video. So if there is column alias, that must be enclosed in double quotation mark. Clear? If there is column alias, so that must be enclosed in double quotation mark. But if there is a character string, so that must be enclosed in single quotation mark for searching purpose. Clear? Because this is the difference in column alias and character string. If there is any character string, that must be enclosed in single quotation mark, and if there is a column name, column alias, clear? So that will be in double quotation mark. So character values are case sensitive and date values are format sensitive. The case sensitivity regard to the Oracle queries. These are the Oracle queries. In the SQL, there is no restriction. There is no case sensitivity for the character search or for the date format. But if you are working in Oracle, then you must need to write as it is. Suppose in Oracle table, you wrote clerk with capital alphabets. So if you are trying to write the clerk with a small alphabet, I will write that practically in the video, so you will see that as well. So it will not perform any search. But not in SQL. SQL is not case sensitive. If you write clerk in small alphabets and in the table it is saved with the capital alphabets, so no problem, it will show you the result. But not in Oracle. In Oracle, you need to write the same format. If you are searching by date, I need to check that how many employees we hired at 17th February 1996. So then in that case, you must need to follow that format, the date format. First of all, the day, then the month, and then the year. If you write year, month and date, it will not search. Clear? You must need to follow the formats, date, month and year. So now let's come to the practical.
What about the
Okay. So select from employee. So now this time I just want to see the record of clerks. Now there are 3 clerks working in the department: Martin, George and Jimmy. Their designation is clerk, and I don't remember their IDs. I don't remember their names. I don't remember their department IDs. So how I will perform the search? So in that case, I need to write select all the record from employee, where job is equal to, because job is the designation, where job is equal to. Now this time I am not searching it by ID. If I am searching it by ID, then there is no need of writing the figures, the numeric numbers inside single quotation. But this time I am searching it as a string. I am searching it by some words, a string, a character string. So that must be enclosed in single quotation mark. So where the designation is clerk. Now it is displaying me the records of only those guys whose designation is clerk. Clear? And now you can see that in the table the clerk is stored with capital alphabets, and above I wrote it by small alphabets, but still it is searching because SQL is not case sensitive. But if you are working in the Oracle, you must need to write as it in the same alphabets, in the same case, which is saved in the table. Otherwise, it will not display the result. Now, I want to search by hire date. So select all the data from employee. Now, what are the hire dates? Their hiring date, their date of joining in the organization. Now, this time, I just want to see the records of those employee. They were hired at suppose 1st January 2000. Suppose the organization, they have performed, they have hired some employees in 2000, in the year 2000. And now I don't remember, because suppose there are 1500 employees working in the organization, and I just want to see those they were hired at the date 2000, in the year 2000. So what will be the search in that case? So employee where hire date is equal to, now this time I'm using the date format. So first hyphen sign January or 1 and 2000. So only Smith is hired at 1st January 2000, and you can see that the case is totally reverse. You can see here the case is totally reverse, that first of all I wrote the day, the month, and then the year, and in the table first of all the year, the month, and the date. So SQL is not case sensitive, but if you are doing the same job in the Oracle, so it will not retrieve the record. You must need to write first the day, the month, and the year in the same format, even in the same format which is saved in the table. Clear? And you must need to use the hyphen sign for separating the month, the day, and the year, but not in the SQL. In the SQL you can use the slash as well. Still it will display the record. Clear? Still it will display the record. So SQL Server is not case sensitive, but if you are working in the Oracle, so that is case sensitive. So you must need to follow the pattern that, suppose in the Oracle table the date of hiring is stored 17 FEB February and then 96, and if you are trying to search it by 17, 2 and 1996, it will not search. Or if you are using slash, it will not search. You must need to use the same pattern. So that's why it is case sensitive. Clear? If suppose you want to search the records of the clerk in the Oracle table, and the clerk is stored by capital alphabets, and here you are writing small alphabets, so it will not search. But SQL will provide you the facility of not having been case sensitive. Clear? Task to give 10% increment to only those guys who are clerk, whose designation is clerk. So the query will be that select all the records from employee. But here, if suppose the formula, it should be before the from. Clear? The problem is the formula should be before the from. So select the salary, the employee name, employee ID, employee name, his salary, and the calculated salary. So salary plus salary multiply by 10 and divided by 100. So that will be the formula from employee, but not if you execute it, So 10% is added to all of the employees, but I don't want to give the increment to all of the employees. I want to give the increment to only those whose designation is clerk. So where job is equal to, in single quotation mark, because this is single quotation mark, because this is string and I want to search it by string, and then I want to give the increment. So where job is clerk. So when you execute it, so you will see that only the 10% incremented is given to those guys whose job is clerk. And you can add another column here to see the job. So Martin is clerk, George is clerk, Jim is clerk. So they all are clerk, their current salary is that, and the 10% incremented salary is only given to the designation clerk. If you want to give the designation to, suppose, manager, those whose designation is manager, so now this time the 10% increment is given to only those guys whose job, whose designation is manager. Ahmad, Ali, Ford, Mark and Khalid, they all are manager. So this time the 10% increment is given to those guys. Clear? Operators. What are the comparison operators? So we have different types of comparison operators: equal to, greater than or equal to. We have almost 10 operators. Less than or equal to, not equal to. For not equal to, we will use that sign, and I will show you that as well, that how to use that. Between and, I will show you also how to use the between and. Inset, why inset is used for, like is used for, and is null. Clear? We will discuss about the between and, not in, like, not like, is null, is not null. We will discuss about the different types. Okay. So almost the equal, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, they all are almost, I think, clear to you guys. So what about the not equal? The not equal symbol in SQL is that. Clear? So suppose now this time I want to search all the records, select static from employee where job is not equal to manager. Okay, so now this time it is only displaying me the records of those whose designation is other than manager. This symbol is used for not equal to. So show me the records which is not equal to manager. It means show me all the records except manager. So I am talking about this except. Okay, not this one. Okay, show me all the records except manager. Clear? Don't show me the records of manager and show me all the other records. If I don't want to see the records of the clerk, so the query will be select, or I will just change here the designation. So now this time the manager record is displayed, but only the clerk record is not displayed, because the symbol is select all the records from employee table where the job is not equal to clerk. Show me all those records, their job is not equal to clerk. If their job is equal to clerk, don't show it to me. Show me any other records. Is it clear? The proper way, the proper method for writing the query is on 2 lines. The select and from is on 1 line, and the where clause is on 2nd line. Clear? So for making a 2-line query as a comment, we will use /static. If the query is on 1 line, so for in that case we will use the double hyphen sign. But if the query is on proper 2 lines, so static and slash is used. Clear? Suppose select all the records from employee where salary is not equal to 2000. Clear? So it will display me all the records. Their salary is not equal to 2000, other than 2000. It will not display me the records of those employees who is getting a fixed salary of 2000. It will show me all the rest of the records, who is getting 2300, who is getting 3000, but not the 2000. Clear? So now for making this two-line query, which is a proper, which is a standard, which is a recommended method, for making it as a comment, we cannot use the double hyphen sign, because the first line is created as a comment, but the second is still active. So for making a two-line query, which is a proper method, as a comment, we will use static, slash and static. So now, yes, for making it as a comment. Clear? The between and end means when you are going to search a record which is in between that range. When you are going to create a range, I want to see the salaries, the salary record from between 500 and 2000. So how we will write the query? So I want to display the records of select all the records from employee where salary between, the word between, you need to write it as it is, between suppose $500 and $2000. So it will display you all the records whose salary is between $500 and $2000, not less than 500 and not greater than $2000. Clear? If you want to display the salary records from 500 to 1000, so it will show you, it is showing you only two records. One person is getting 800, which is between 500 and 1000, and one person is getting 1000, which is in the same range. Clear? So when you are going to create a range, that only show me the records which is from that starting point between 500 and 1000, between 1 and 30, any of that. Is it clear? So between, when you are going to create a boundary, when you are going to create a range, is it clear? Got it? So the next operator is, so why we use inset? The inset operator is used for matching a list of rows. Suppose I want to display the records of employee number 2. I want to see the record of employee number 2, employee number 5, and employee number 10. So for that, I need to use the word in, the operator in. That will help me to select any of the rows of my own choice. Clear? This time I'm not seeing the record greater than, less than. If I say show me the record of whose ID is greater than 5, so it will show me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all of those. But what if I want to see 5, 10, 25, 30? Only 4 records. I don't want to see the records whose value is greater than 5. So in that case, when you are going to create multiple choice, we will use the operator in. So how it works? So select all the records from employee where employee ID. So now this time employee ID, if I write it here like equal to 3, 4, 6, so it is wrong. It is not working. I am selecting 3 records, but it is not working. Clear? So for that reason, I need to write employee ID in. So now you can see that I select all the records from employee where employee ID in 3, 4, and 6th. So it is only displaying me the 3rd record, the 4th record, and the 6th record. If I want to see the record number 2 as well, so now it is displaying me 2, 3, 4, and 6. If I want to see one more record, suppose 1, so now it is showing me 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. If I want to see the record number 9 as well, So now it is showing me the record of 9 as well. So when you have multiple choices and you want to select different records, different rows of your choice, so for that case we use the in operator.